Welcome back to the channel and a new location for us. We had an invite up north. We are above the M56 parallel at Manor Park Classics. So we're in Runcron in Cheshire and they've got around about 110 cars coming up for auction at the beginning of September. And one of the cars I've picked out to have a look at is this beautiful Mark II Cortina. So we're going to do our usual thing, have a look at a selection, give them a quick review and then see how they get on when they went under the hammer. Who doesn't like an XR3i? I really do like the early ones, you know, the Mark IIIs with those regional black grills and cloverleaf wheels, but this is a rare survivor from the other end of production. This is a 1991, so it's the right at the end of Mark IV production, and this one, again, a great unmolested classic. It's been in storage, I think, for about 20 years, and it's had a good recommission. It's had all those things you'd expect, cam belt, battery, it's had a new alternator, etc. So this one's pretty much up and ready to go. What's not to like? Interior's good, bolster's good, which is obviously usually a challenge. Parcel shelf hasn't been cut for a whopping great 6x9s, like, yeah, we're all guilty of that back in the day, weren't we? But it's just a great tidy thing. Done just 48,000 miles and the condition really reflects it. Price-wise, estimate-wise, £8,000 to £9,000. Yeah, I think there was a period 2 or 3 years ago where people thought these were worth £12,000, £15,000. I think that bubble has deflated, but let's see what the bidders decided it was worth.
Unspoiled specification on this, you're in at 4.5, £5,000 with me. At 5,000, would you like another 500 online? 5,500, 6,000 back to me. 6,500, 7 my bid. At £7,000 the bid. 7,500, my commission interest is out at 7,000, you're in at 7,500. I'll take the quarters from this point if anyone else wants to join in. It's at 7,500 with the Irish bidder, 7,750. At 7,750. £7,750 is bid. Once. 8,000 now. At £8,000. Twice. 250. 8,250's bid. At 8,250 the bid then once. At 8,250 the bid then twice. Finished, done and selling. 8,250 the bid online. Sold 8,250, 176.
We've moved outside where unfortunately the conditions are suboptimal, I think they'd say, and we've also got a motorway or a dual carriageway just behind the hedge, so hopefully the noise is okay. But in the category of when did you last see one of these, Vauxhall Corsa 1.6 GSi. What a funky little thing, and so original and unmolested. And I know that's a bit of a theme with the cars here, but it's great. I love it. It's had 3 keepers, so it's not been through many hands. 105,000 miles, so for a 95, 30 years old, that's really not a lot, is it? First owner had it 28 years, and that's probably how, you know, it reflects the condition. Parcel shelf uncut. You know, all those bits that are so difficult to find on these cars. The interior's glorious. You know, it's got even the Network Q sticker on it. Remember Network Q, the Vauxhall sort of pre-owned car network? I think it's good money, £6,000 to £7,000. Yeah, I think it's in that kind of range. If you remember on the SWVA auction we did a few weeks ago, there was a Nova SR, so, you know, in the family tree, slightly lesser, but slightly older. And that did £10,000, and I would argue that was not as nice as this one. That other one had been through a few hands, but this one does look really nice. But again, it's not up to me, it's up to the bidders.
At 3,000's the bid. 3,200 here. At 3,200 before you, 3,400, 3,600. At 3,006, gentleman's bid at 3,006. 3,800's bid. 4,000 now. At 4,000, 4,000, 4,000, gentleman's bid now at 4, and 2's back in online. In Staffordshire at the minute, at 4,004 it goes on. At 4,400. At 4,004 is with you in Kent. At 4,400, 4,600 back at there. At 4,600, online, not you. At 4,600, 4,800's back in. At 4,008, 5,000 again, thank you. At 5,000 bid. Online, would you like to come in for another 2? 5.2, they say yes please, at 5,004. At 5.4, ladies bid back to you at 5,004. 5,406. At 5.6. At 5.6. 5.8's bid. At 5,008. At 5,008, 6,000's bid. Would you like to go 2 again? 6.1, thank you again, at 6,001. At 6,000, 6,001, 6.2 straight back in online. 6.3 bid. At 6,003. At 6,300, 6.4. At 6,400 a bit now, 6,004. So at 6,400 it goes. 6.5 ladies back in at 6,005. 6.6. At 6,600 is bid. Finished, we're done. And selling online at £6,600 it goes. Sold at 6,006, 18010.
Now, I really like this 1969 Ford Cortina Mk2. And for those of you in the know, you probably realise this is an Alan Mann tribute colour scheme. And this is a really nice little car. 2-door, you don't see many 2-doors of these, do you? It was originally a blue 1300. It got built up between 2014, 2016 into this glorious replica. And it's great for modern roads as well. Suspension, brakes have all been upgraded. It's also got a nice Pinto engine in it, backed up by a Ford 5-speed box. So you're going to enjoy driving it on modern roads. Interior, I think, is great. It's got period bucket seats in it. It hasn't gone all sort of Cobra seats and harnesses, and I think it looks just right. The repaint on it was back to bare metal, so you shouldn't have any dramas on it in the near future when it comes to the old corrosion. But yeah, MOT through to March 26, and of course this would be MOT exempt, so I always think that's a nice rubber stamping of a car's condition. Estimate 8 to 10,000. Surely it's going to go through that. I know it's not an original race car, but it's something to use. Brilliant, isn't it? But as ever, it's up to the bidders to decide what it's worth.
Start me off, you're in there at 4. Sorry to disappoint you, I got loads of bids on this one. I'm just going to go 4.5, 5,000, 5.5, 6,000's bid, 6.5, 7,000, 7.5, 8,000, 8,500 we start. And on outright sale now at 8,005. At 8,500, 9. At 9,005, back to me. And 10,000, my commission interest is out. You're in online at £10,000. At 10,000, it's going to Buckinghamshire at the minute, and 10.5 is bid. At 10,500 is the bid, and 11 back in. 11,000 is with you, and 5 bidding goes on at 11,005. I tell you what, we'll take the quarter, we'll take the 250. You're coming back in for a smaller bite then. 11,750 they are. 11,750 is bid. Would anyone like £12,000 on this one here? 11,750 is the bid now. 11,750, 12. At 12,000, 12,000, one more quarter online, you're coming in for another bid. At 12,000, 12,000. At 12,000 is the bid now, 12. I'll put the hammer up then at 12. 12,250 is bid. At 12,250 it goes on. At 12,250, 12,5, 12,5, 12,5, online bidding now at 12,5. At 12,005, hammers up. 12.5, 12,750. At 12,750, 13 bid. At 13,000 now. At 13,250. At 13,250's bid. At 13,250 now. At 13,250, 13.5. At 13.5, 13.5. We're going to count you down online. No, we're not. 13,750 bid. Would you like 14? At 13,750 and 14,000 it goes on. At 14,000, 14,000. 15,000. 250, 14,250 back in. We sell this time, make no mistake, we're finished and done at 14,250. So 14,250, 5,717.
Now here's a rare sight, SAAB 99. I can remember back in the day these were popular doctors, dentists as a sensible choice of car. But of course SAAB as a manufacturer sort of pretty much disappeared in about 2011. This one, one of the older ones, and is in really good condition and has had a proper amount of money sunk into it. Since 2020, £13,000. Back in 2020, it had £4,000 spent on the engine rebuild, and then subsequent to that, it's had electrical work, had some of the corrosion done, suspension, and so on, and that was £8,000. That was in 2023. So there's not going to be much left. You're going to need to spend money on it. So in that way, it could be quite good. I'm not sure about the rally-ish bits. The gold wheels, I don't think suit it. I think they're missing the centre caps, and it just doesn't work for me. And the sort of half rally stickery, no, sorry, maybe for other people, I think you've got to go all in and make it a proper rally style replica or not bother. And if I was to buy it, I'd strip all those bits off personally and just put it back to a standard car. But the good thing about this one, no reserve, so it gets what it gets. So let's see what happened when it went under the hammer.
You're in at 1,000. I'm in at 12. At 1,200, my bid. At 1,200, 1,200 bid. At 1,200, 1,200, 1,200 is bid now at 12. At £1,200 coming in 14. 14, I see you. 16 back to me though at 1,600. At 1,600, 1,600. 18 bid. 2,000 to me. At 2 bid. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. Cheat little SAAB this one. 2,2. 2,4 is my bid. At 2,004 with me. At 2,4, 2,6. I'm going to have to go 2,8 and £3,000 is my bid. Go 3,2 if you want to come back in. Last chance and fair warning. At £3,000, I'm selling. Sold at £3,000. Bidder number 100.
Of all the cars I've owned, the one I've owned the most of, Capris. And I'm actually responsible for a few that have been broken for spares as well. So sorry, I did deplete the gene pool. This one of the last 1,886,647 Capris. I'm desperate for that to come up as a tiebreaker question in a pub quiz that were built. And of these, everyone referred to it as the Brooklands. It was actually just the Capri 280. It was a Brooklands green paint that they were all in, and they were only 1,038 of them built. This one wasn't registered until 1988. Now, what we've got to remember is back in those days, obviously everyone had fallen in love with hot hatches. You know, Capri was yesterday's hero, hot hatches where it was. And maybe this just sat on the forecourt for a little while. This one's only done 71,000 miles, 3 owners, so good history. The interior looks nice. It had the full leather Recaros on this model. It also had the 15-inch RS 7 spokes, which sort of takes it away from the other Capris. And if you like Capris, there's actually been 2 other Capris in this auction as well, but I just thought this one's a bit special, which is why I picked it out. Estimate-wise, 19 to 21,000. Yeah, it's probably somewhere in that kind of ballpark, I would say. This one is nice, and I'm not sure how many Brooklands are left, but there can't be masses. But of course, let's see how the auctioneer got on.
You're in at 10. I got several commission bids here. I'm going to go 11, 12, and 13 bid. 14 with me at 14,000. At 14,000, stay in the thousands for the moment if we can online. At 14, 15, 16's back to me. At 16,000 now. At 16,000, 16,000. At 16,000, would you like to go 7, 17, 18, my bid. At 18,000 with me at 18. Are we finishing done? 19. 20's my bid before you online. At £20,000 with me, you'll have to go 21 next if you want to bid again. At £20,000, and it sells away 1. And 22 back to my commission interest. At £22,000 for the first time, then it goes. At £22,000 for the second time, it sells this time. Make no mistake, finished and done and selling at £22,000.
One of my missed opportunities is Porsche 944, and you know, in that file, I think we've all got one of cars I wish I'd bought when they were quarter of what they are now, and very much the case with 944s. I can remember when, you know, they were £2 all day long, and they're definitely not that anymore. This one from 1986, it's a nice, honest car. It's not going to be a show winner, but what a great usable classic. It'll be perfectly fine in modern day traffic. It's got a recent history. It's had a cam belt, water pump, so those regular jobs you need to do, those boxes have already been ticked. Yes, it's got a little bit of patina all over it, but otherwise, great. Just over 100,000 miles, and it's got MOT through to February 26, so it's tax it, insure it, and of course, next year it will become historic tax, so it won't even cost you anything. So, yeah, great little car. Estimate-wise, £5,000 to £6,000. Yeah, it's just going to be about on that, isn't it? That seems to be where the money is on these at the moment. But of course, not up to me. Let's see how it got on.
Now 2002 is bid online. Thank you, Will. At 2002. At 222222. At 2002. At 2,200 we're bid. At 2002. 24's in. At 2004. At 2424 on the telephone. 26 against you now, George. At 2006. At 2,600, would anyone else like 2.8's bid? Telephone bidder at 2,008. At 2,000, 2,800, are we finished and done here then? At 2,800, make no mistake, 3's bid online. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. 3-2, telephone bidders back in. Last chance in fair warning then. On George's telephone, we're going to submit the bid at 3,200 once. 3,200 twice. Your bidder there, George, at 3-2. We'll submit the bid.
If you want something to use and improve, this Ford Cortina 2 Litre could be just the car for you. Remember these back in the day? The defining point on these I always thought was that black back panel between the rear lights. It always, you knew it was a 2 Litre S then. And yeah, this one's not a bad little car at all. It's got patina here and there. It's got a little dent in the front wing, but nothing dramatic. Got the S stripe down the side. I think, yeah, if you want something to get out and get enjoying with, what a great little car. I'd get rid of those bonnet locks on the front. I really don't think they do any favours for it at all. It was last MOT'd back in 2012. I think it'd done about 85,000 miles and it's showing now about 87,000 miles. And of course, since 2018, it's been MOT exempt. Yeah, I think, nice little fun thing. And it's probably not going to be mega money. We don't know where the estimate is because it's no reserve. Whatever it gets to, it gets to. So let's see how well the auctioneer did with it.
I'm in at 1,000, 12, 14, 1,600 pounds were bid. At 1,600's online. At 1,600, my commission interest is out now at just 1,600 pounds. At 1,600 here, then online at 16 and 17's bid now at 1,700. 18 back in. At 1,800, welcome in Wales there at 1,800. Newport that was, and Suffolk's back in at 19. At 1,900. At 1,900 is the bid. At 1,900, 2. At 2,000 now. At 2,1. At 2,100, we're back in at 2,1. Just 2,002. At 2,2 bid. Would anyone else like 2,003? Are we finished and done then? Hammers up. Make no mistake, it's here to be sold. 2,3. 2,3's bid. At 2,300, hammers up then. At 2,300, 2,4. At 2,004. 2,400, it goes for the first time then at 2,005 bid. At 2,5 and 6. At 2,006, thank you for your fast bid in there, underbidder. You're back in at 2,006. 2,7. 2,7's back in. At 2,007 for the first time then 2,8. At 2,800, back in now at 2,8's bid. At 2,000, 2008 then once, twice. Finished and done then at 2,009. At 2,009. 2,900 pounds. Make no mistake, at 2,900 pounds. Sold at 2,978.
What doesn't scream 1970s more than metal flake paint, KC daylighters on the front and a pair of Cobra bucket seats? It's a brilliant beach buggy, isn't it? And of course, this is Kit Car Corner. And yeah, I just love it. This one apparently came originally from Australia, back in about 93, I think it was. But interestingly, it's left-hand drive, which I thought was a little bit odd because the land of Oz drive on the correct side of the road like we do. It's had a front disc brake conversion, which is obviously great for the safety element and driving on modern roads. And this one is even better, no reserve, so it gets what it gets. So let's see what happens when it went to the auctioneer.
And the bidding online is already pinging away. It was in 900, 1,000, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 1,600 pound in Germany. It's with you at 1,600 a bid. At 1,600, 1,800's bid. 2,000 now. At 2,000, 2,002. At 2,002, 2,4. At 2,004, 2,6. 2,8's bid. At 2,008. 3's bid now at 3,000 pounds. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. 3-2 bid. At 3,002. Fair warning. Finished and done. 3-4 screaming away on the phones at 3,004. At 3-4, your bid now at 3-4. 3-6 is back to the internet. At 3,006. Would you like to go 3-8? 3-8's bid. Telephone bid with Tim at 3,008. It's on the telephone. 4's bid. 4's back in online. I'll take it. 4-1 bid. Tim's telephone. Drop the increment for you online. Would you like to go 4-2? On the telephone, once, twice, finished and done, 4-2 bid online. 4-3 back in, thank you, Tim. At 4,300, back to the telephone, online. You nearly missed out last time. At 4,003. Hammers up. And away it sells, make no mistake, at 4,300 finished and done. Sold at 4.3 on the telephone with you.
If you're of my generation, a Sierra Cosworth gives you a great rush even of nostalgia. They were just great cars in the day, weren't they? It was, you know, those early British touring cars when it was still in the classes, and you know, before Super Touring come along, these were bashing the door mirrors off each other. It was brilliant. But this one is quite special, I think, and is a great opportunity for someone. This one, a local car purchased just across the river in Liverpool, actually purchased through an employee discount scheme and remained in the same family owned up until now. It's been off the road about 25 years, so what's that, 2000, and last MOT was back in 1996, and that was showing at that point just around about 20,000 miles, and now is only showing 22,000 miles. So one honest original car. There are a few dinks around it, a couple of scratches and so on, but nothing horrific at all. They have put a new cam belt on it, but they haven't got it started, and that worries me slightly as to, you know, have they found a bigger problem? But we know these engines are eminently doable. There's lots of people out there that do them, but it would have been great if it had been a starter. The interior is just a great little time warp. It's really nice, you know, when you find them original. We know that fast forward bubble is slightly deflating, and it'll be interesting to see where this one gets to, and it's going to sell because it's no reserve. So let's see what the bidders decided it was worth.
Where it started at 10, it went 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, and 2,000 will go in thousands from this point. At 32,000 were bid. At 32, 32. At £32,000, 33. At 33 bid before you online. At 33 with a gentleman in the room, 34. At 34, 34. At 34,000 is bid. At 34,000, 35. At 35, 35. At £35,000 here on the Cosworth, then at 35, 36, 37, sir. 37's bid. At 37, if you're coming back in online. At 37,000, gentleman's bid here. 38. At 38,000, 39, back in now at £39,000. At 39, 39, and 40 bid. At 40,000, 41. At 41 bid. At 41,000. 42, can I go 43? Can I go 44? 44. 45, either of you? 45. 46, at 46, 47, 48, at 49, at £49,000 were bid, at 49, 49 and 50 bid now, 50 and 1, at 51,000. Gentleman's bid here then at £51,000. The hammer's going to go in the hand on this lot. 51.5, 52, at £52,000, 52.5 back in, 53. At £53,000 is the bid now at 53. At 53, 53, 53. 53.5, thank you again, sir. 54 straight back in at £54,000. At 54, 54. Shakes the head here. Your bid still, sir, at £54,000. Would anyone else like to come in for another 5? Ladies and gentlemen, finishing done with this 54.5. 54.5 bid back in now at 54,005. 55 again. At £55,000, it's hammer time now at 55,000 with you, sir. 55. Sold your way. Thank you very much at £55,000.
We know Peugeot 205s are all over the place really in some ways compared to its big brother, the Peugeot 309 GTI. And again, another one in that old favourite category of when did you last see one of these? And especially one in this condition. 1989, this one, and it's recently had a glass out respray. And I know I'm out here in the slightly inclement weather, but having a good look round it, it does look really, really nice in the bodywork department. And it's had a really sensible upgrade, which is popular again with the 205 guys, which is the MI16 engine. The interior, in the notes it says it looks like it's been replaced at some point. It looks like the original style to me. It's obviously, you know, if it's been replaced, it's been replaced with a very nice one. I don't know, it's a great little thing. Now, interesting, I looked at the history on this, and this actually sold through Manor Park Classics a year ago for £9,500. And it's up with MOT till March 26. The only slight downer on this one is the mileage is quite high, 158,000 miles, but obviously it's had that engine change at some point. But guided at just £6,500 to £7,000. And I don't believe it's lost anywhere near that in the last year compared to that 9,500 sales. So this one should fly. But of course, It's not up to me. Let's see how it got on.
Gonna go 2, 2, 5, 3, 3, 5's bid. We start at 3,005 with me. 4's bid, that helps. At 4,000 bid. At 4,200 a bid. At 4,2, 4,2, 4,4. At 4,004 is bid. Would you like to come back in for 4,6? 4,6 is bid. At £4,600, you're in. I'm going to take the ladies' bid at 4,800, not with you online. Thank you, George. Good spot. At 4,008. Are we finished and done at just £5,000? We'll submit the bid here then at 5,000. Would you like to go to? At £5,000, the bid is online. 5,2, thank you again. 5,4. 5,4 is bid. Warning, once, twice, finished, done at 5,400. 5,6, new bidder there. Isle of Wight making a late entrance again. 5,8's bid at 5,008. 8 then we go once this time then at 5,800, make no mistake. At 5,000, 5,800 the bid then twice. 6 bid at £6,000. 6,2, 6,2, 6,2 at 6,2 bid. Finished and done then and selling online with you in Staffordshire at 6,002. Sold at 6,2,180.
Now, this is a proper rare old thing. This Austin 1800 rally car, back from 1968, is the proper real deal. It was one of 5 cars that were built by the factory to compete in sort of mainly the original event, which was the London to Sydney rally, and this one finished 21st in it. It then was prepared again and went on to compete in the 1970 London to Mexico rally, where it finished 11th with an Australian team. Then it ended up back in Australia, it went to a museum, and then it eventually reappeared back in the UK in 2002. And it's just original, it's just untouched. You know, I love the interior. It's got a bucket seat for the driver, but everybody else can sort of roll around. It's got the original build sheets with it. It's just, you know, wheels on the roof, all that kind of thing. It's just great. Estimate-wise, £25,000 to £30,000. Now, I'm a bit unsure on these, so I'm not going to comment because I'm probably going to put my foot in it one way or another. But of course, let's see how it got on when it went under the hammer.
At 10,000. At 10,000, 10,000, 11. 11 bid. At 11,000 on the telephone with Tim, then at 11. Online's back in at 12. At 12,000, 12,000, 12,000. 13 bid. At 13,000 now. At 13,000, 13,000 and 14's back in online. At £14,000 the bid. 14,000, 15's in online. At 15,000, new bidder there. 16 bid, telephone bidders in. And either bidder online, would you like to go 17? Yes, 17 is bid. At 17,000 now. 18 bid, telephone bidders in at £18,000. 19's back in, North Yorkshire bidder now at £19,000. Finished and done. 19.5's in on the telephone at 19.5. At 19.5. At 19,520 straight back in. At £20,000 we are bid. With you online at £20,000. Online bidder provisionally with you at 20,17816.
Well, I hope you liked the selection of cars I picked out for you to have a closer look at and enjoyed seeing them go to auction and seeing how they got on. As ever, if you're still here, you must have enjoyed the content, so please give that subscribe button a click for us. It won't cost you a penny and it does an awful lot for us here. I'll catch you next time.